In this video, we're going to make SpongeBob SquarePants from Blender's default cube to this. It's a good start. Now top to bottom, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate, move down, of course shrink, so scale down. This will be his shirt. It's not as wide, so scale along X, scale along Y. Probably still too long for the shirt. We'll revisit. And then duplicate the shirt, bring it down, and these will be the pants. And the shirts, the pants are about as tall as the shirt. So we'll leave that there for now, but honestly, no. All right, let's move on. Doesn't have to be perfect now. Okay, make sure you look at the front as well as the sides. Let's see. I'm going to just make another square, another cube. Shrink this down for his shorts. The legs, the legs of his shorts. One here. And then we're going to create a modifier. We're going to mirror this across. So mirror modifier. And then measure it by the cube. Or the mirror object. It's going to be the main cube because it's on the cursor. It's on the world origin. On the side. Okay, go ahead and duplicate these. Bring it down. Scale down. But it's got long legs, right? So we're going to scale along the z-axis. That'll do for now. And how about his shoes? So let me think. Should we do a UV sphere or cube? Let's go ahead and do the sphere. Okay, bring it down. Move it over underneath the legs. Up. He's got some weird shoes. It's like a ball in the front, a ball in the back, and then the stem on the bottom. So scale down. Let's see, the ball on the front is bigger. So we're going to duplicate, bring it to the front, and then scale it like that. Mind you, we can come back again to this. We're going to make a square for the stem at the bottom. Kind of like a heel, but not really. Just like a platform, but not as much as a platform. So scale that down. Turn sideways. Bring it down along the z-axis. Let's see. I'm going to scale that along the Y. Move it underneath the shoe. Scale along the x-axis to make it a little wider. Let's see, how does it look from the side? Looks a little tall. Scale down. Take it up. No, not that. There we go. Take this up a little bit. Okay. That'll do for now. We could go ahead and put it along yeah, we will. Let's go ahead and mirror across. So mirror object, cube. Okay, and this. We're going to join here in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and just mirror these across. Okay, and this front ball. Mirror. Okay, I can already tell the legs are too long, but I'm not going to focus on it right now. All right, before we do anything else, I'm going to come up here and remove the 3D cursor because it distracts me. So here, click, and it removes it. Now, my favorite part, I'm going to click the main body, do a subdivision surface modifier right here. Okay, I'm going to click the levels of viewport up about 2. Now it looks weird, but hold on. Then go into tab to edit. Let's see, we need some loop cuts. So Control R. Start it off like this, but roll my mouse. I'm going to get 4. And I'm going to go ahead and push 2 to make it about the edges. So I can click the edges instead of the vertices. Okay, and Control R again. I'm going to do more loop cuts, but here horizontal. 2, 3, 4. Click. Okay, so to get the grooves along SpongeBob, like top, bottom, and both sides, as you'll see from references or how SpongeBob looks, we're going to make loop cuts in between these here. I'll show you. So Control R here, here. Okay. Now with this selected, so we can select the edges. So you can push 2 on your keyboard or come up here and select this middle option. Okay, click this edge, hold Shift. I'm going to skip 1 in between. So this here, that edge. So we have 4 in between, and then these 2 sides. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do it as well for the bottom. So if you can't see between, let's see, underneath, to click, go ahead and push Alt-Z. And there we go. Can actually make it harder to see though. I'm going to do the same here at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to do Alt-Z again. See, I can kind of see, but in case you can't. Okay, and then we're going to push scale along, let's see, the Z axis. So SZ, just like that. Just enough to give him some ridges, but not too much. Stop right there. Going to push tab button to get out of edit mode. That looks fine. So I'm going to say I'm done with the top and bottom. Go back into edit mode, so control or the tab. Then I'm going to do the same here for the sides. So Control R for loop cuts. Make one here. Here. Y'all get it? Hold on, I accidentally pushed. There we go. And then one more. Okay. Zoom out. I'm going to leave this corner because we already put it, yeah, we've already moved it along the Z-axis. So I'm going to click here, here, skip 1 in between. So we click on this side. Make sure we do the same over here. 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1 to center it, and then scale along the X-axis and bring it in. Okay. And then let's take a look. Looks okay, except he looks, well, I mean, his main sponge body looks skinny now, so we're gonna scale along the X, make him a little wider like that. You know what? That'll do for now. Actually, no. Well, yeah, that'll do for now. Okay, let's go ahead to the shirt. Move the shirt up a little bit. It looks too long. See, now I'm gonna move everything up. So select, don't push hide, don't push H. Okay, click what would be the shirt. Let's go to subdivision. We'll put a modifier on it, subdivision surface modifier. Levels, viewport, I'm gonna click it up to 3. Edit mode. Now we want his shirt to remain kind of boxy, but I don't want defined corners like you would see here in a cube. So Control R for loop cut. I'm gonna put one here. Actually, you know what? I can put 2. So Control Z. I'm gonna put 2. Control R. Okay, scroll my mouse. Okay, now I can move these. I'm gonna scale them along the Z axis and make it so. Let's see. There we go. Let's see, now it's round. So go back into edit mode. Let's see. Loop cut. This 2 is really needed. And then scale along the X axis. Let's take it almost to the edges. Let's see. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so 2 loop cuts, vertical, and then scale them out along the X. And then we did 2 horizontal loop cuts and scaled them out along the Z axis to get this effect. We're gonna take this and duplicate, bring it down. Let's put this up. Scale Z, make it a little shorter. Down just a little bit. Basically, we're duplicating the shirt. There you go. Okay, time for the shorts, the legs of the shorts here. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the mirror on, do a subdivision surface modifier again. And yes, levels viewport, knock that up to 3. Okay, let's go into edit mode and we're gonna put a loop cut, let me think. Yeah, loop cut, but here 1 horizontal, and then we're gonna bring it down because his pants are round at the bottom, but kind of V-shaped at the top. So let's see, Alt Z to see through. Okay, I'm gonna push, so to face select in edit mode, because I want the top of this, Alt Z, you can X-ray and see through. But I want the top of that, I wanna make it longer at the top, so I'm G, Z, just a little bit, and then here at the bottom, let me think. Now I'm gonna go ahead and push 2, so we can get the edges. And to the very bottom, actually missed 1. I'm also gonna do this here, the line right above it. Okay. Let's do Alt Z and get out of X-ray mode, and then just scale. Let's see, how's that? Okay, I like that for now. We can always change it later. All right, the legs are not this shape, so they also need a subdivision surface modifier, correct? Okay, levels, we're gonna knock that up to 3. And we are gonna need loop cuts. Control R. Actually, 2 will do. I'm gonna scale along the Z. Let's see. Yeah, it seems right. I'm not gonna be picky with the legs. There we are. Except we can move the shoes up a little bit. Now, okay, I'm gonna click on the bottom of his shoe here because I don't like this being totally square. We're gonna put a subdivision modifier, on it, the subdivision surface. Push 3 to turn to the side. See, yes, I'm gonna click the levels of viewport up again and put it in edit mode. Let's see, we need a loop cut. I'm gonna do one horizontal, just so, there we go. I want it rounded just a little bit. We can see it take effect here on the other side. Yeah. That looks better to me. There's 7. See the bottom? See it from the front. And yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I'll do it like that. All right, with that done, I guess let's go ahead and start on the arms. So his sleeves are like a smaller version of, I guess, the legs here of his shorts. So we're going to click on these, duplicate, Shift-C, take them up, and move along the x-axis, rotate along the y, 90. So Control-Z, wrong way. So rotate along the y, negative 90 degrees. And there we have it. You need to make these smaller though. These are not that big, so scale down. Let's try that. Move them up. Okay, so his arms are gonna be, we're gonna go ahead and imagine eyes, mouth. Sleeves are gonna be a little below his mouth. So let's try here, scale them down a little bit more. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Arms look like his legs, so we're gonna take these, we're also gonna duplicate the legs. Click, Shift-D to duplicate. Move up, move to the side, and then rotate again, rotate Y, negative 90. Move these up. There you go. So Shift-A, get a cube out, scale down the cube. Okay, move it along. Okay, I'm gonna scale it along the Z. Okay, push 7 to look at it from a top view again. Move it, so G along the X axis, like that. Now, let's go into edit mode. Okay, push 2 at the top of your keyboard if you can. Or come up here and push the middle for the edges. So we can select the edges. So grab those 2 there as I have. And we're gonna scale. Let's see, scale along the Y axis to get kind of, yeah, kind of like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put on the modifier, mirror modifier. See, mirror object. We're gonna do, of course, the cube, main body. While I'm here, go ahead and put on the subdivision surface modifier. Yep, click it to 3, levels viewport. Edit mode. Control R for a loop cut. And let's see, I'm gonna do 2 horizontally along the Y axis. So here, and then scale X. And so, honestly, I think that's good. Yeah. And we'll see. All right, SpongeBob has 3 fingers, so I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take his broomstick-looking arm. I'm gonna duplicate, so Shift Z, and then move GX along the X-axis. Just click, scale down. Okay, I'm gonna tell that's gonna be too skinny. Actually, now Control Z. Let me scale it down along the X-axis, like this. And scale along the Y, as skinny as we want to. Push 3 for a side view, and look, now it's too long along the Z axis, so we're gonna scale along the Z. Try to make it look round again, diameter round. Back into 7. Move, and we're gonna put them where they should be. Yeah, so we'll keep that as the middle finger. Let's duplicate, Shift Z, and then move G along the Y axis over here. Make this a pinky. So let's go ahead and scale this down along the X. So it should be a little smaller, right? Okay. Click the pinky, Shift Z. We need an index. Make it a little bit longer. Not as long as the middle finger, but longer than the pinky, of course. And then we need a thumb. So Shift D, move it back. I'm just gonna go ahead and make it shorter. There we go. And then we need to rotate it to where a thumb would be. So rotate Z. Maybe not. Control Z. Rotate Z. There we go. Okay. Click G and then X to move along the X axis. And how's that? Move it across the Y. I'm gonna play with it to scale it just how, okay. You know, that looks all right. I'm gonna click all these fingers. I can tell already, look, they're too far down along the hand of the palm. So I'm gonna click all the fingers, G, Z, move them up a little bit. And then look here from the side. Scale, there you go. Okay, look here at the top. I'm gonna rotate these fingers because fingers are not completely straight like that with your hand out. So clicking on the pinky, we're gonna rotate along the Z axis. So click Z. And just rotate it to where you like it, where it looks natural. So move this back. Okay, index finger, rotate Z. Scoot it over from the middle finger, because I don't want them exactly, I don't want them touching in between. I want a little space. So G, move it along the Y. Yeah. Okay. You know what though? His fingers look a little long. All right. So I'm gonna resize his fingers. Okay, so again, we want to make sure there's space in between. Let's see, it looks in between the palm. Get a top view. That looks, you know what, I'm happy with that. We're gonna move on. All right, so we have the outer layers of SpongeBob's body. Pretty good. Okay, so after finishing with the, I guess, outer elements of his body, I come back and I look at the proportions. And a couple of things I'm noticing, and we could fix it later, but I'm gonna go ahead and, since I see it now. So the sleeves of his shirt look a little, I don't know, look a little wide for the arms if you look at pictures. So I'm gonna scale these down a little more, make them a little longer. So scale along these x-axis like this. And let's see, the legs of his shorts look a little wide. So I'm also gonna scale these. Well, you know what it is? His body's not wide enough along the x-axis. So we're gonna scale here, and then it's not gonna be tall enough because this is more, yeah, he's a little longer. Nope. So scale Z, move it up. So select the bottom portion, bring it up. This. But now these are not long enough, so select the shirt and the pants, scale along the X, make it a little wider. Now what do we think? You know what? I think that looks a little better. We're going to take these arms and move them. So select the sleeves. Since it's still mirrored, you're going to see both selected. Select the arms. Hold Shift, select the arms, hands. And then I believe we're going to take these, so move it up. Okay, hopefully you have a reference picture in front of you. I'm going to go ahead and leave those there. I think the arms are going to be a little longer. Well, we're going to leave it for there for now. Okay, still these pants don't look right. There's more space in between the legs of the shorts. So let's move like that, and then we're going to scale down that way. Yeah, that looks about right. So let's move the legs and the shoes the same. So GX, and then center it about right to how it looks. Yeah, it's about centered. Okay, that looks a lot better. All right, let's go in, and we're gonna leave the hands, fingers for now. Of course, we can come back. I'm just gonna move these out just a little bit. There. Okay, let's put in some eyes. We have this. I'm gonna go ahead and Control S to save what I have. All right, Control A. Let's add a UV sphere. This here. S to scale down, because eyeballs are not that big. Let's try this size. Look at pictures. Scoot this over. So let's see. It's inside. This still looks a little big. Scale it down. Actually, no, if I lose the eye. Side view, GY to bring it out. I'm going to scale this UV sphere along the Y-axis just because, like that. GY to bring it out. There we go. All right. So I'm going to use this line here as the center because it's going to be touching the eyeball next to it. So look at the size. You know, that looks okay. Let's go ahead and do the mirror modifier. Okay, mirror object. I'm going to click again, the main body. Okay, so like I said, the eyes are touching. So we're going to have to, let's scoot, GX, scoot these over and see how that looks. Since I have to click out to move the dot, because that is distracting. You know what, I'm not mad at the eyes for now. Let's leave it. Let's go ahead and add the nose. All right, Control A. Let's get a cube. Scale it down real small. We can go ahead and bring that up so we know it's going to be about here. Click 3 on the numpad to get the side view here. Okay, we're going to scale along the Y-axis, make it longer. Just guessing how long it's going to be there. And to make this, to get it out of the square shape, make it, I know, more rounded, not a circle, but let's see, click subdivision surface modifier, and we're going to click this up to the third level under levels viewport. Okay, but that's too pointy at the end, right? So let's go into tab, exit, or edit mode. Control R to do some loop cuts. And I need to be able to see through it, right? So I'm going to do Alt Z. Hold on. Control Z to get out of that. Okay, so Alt Z to see through. X-ray, put it in X-ray mode. Okay, now Control R, do loop cuts. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 so I can move these to, moved it on accident. So scale along the Y axis like this here, but I can't see, right? So I'm going to take it out of X-ray mode. And I'm trying to look at the tip of the nose to his picture. Don't like it. So scale along the Y again till we get it just right. I'm thinking, okay, for me it's here. So if you want to see what my loop cuts are, put it in X-ray mode, take it out, get out of edit mode. Okay, from the front view compared to pictures, the nose is going to be higher. It's going to sit higher in between his eyes, right? But it's going to go as far down as the bottom of his eyeballs. So let's see. And I'm just playing with it right now, right? Like the proportions, I made the eyes a little bigger. Let's see, move these over along the x-axis. We want them touching, not too much. There we go. And let's see, so there's a little bit of forehead room. We have enough room for the eyelashes, kinda. I'm going to move these down. It's right there, and we'll see if that works. All right, let's go ahead and do, so we have the eyeballs. Let's go ahead and do his iris and the pupils. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate. So Shift Z to duplicate. Move it, well, yeah, move it down just so we can see these compared to the ones up top. Scale down. Then move them back up. Okay, move them out. So move along the y-axis, G. And these would be the outside of his, I guess the irises, where the color of the eyes are. And what do we think? I'm gonna move them along the x-axis like this. It's kind of got owl eyes, right? And then we're going to, let's see, proportionally, those look a little big, so I'm gonna scale down. Okay, now we need the pupils of his eye, right? So with those selected, I'm gonna Shift D to duplicate, and then GY to move them out. See that extra layer? No, I'm already gonna scale down, so I'm gonna go do that before I move into the front view. Like so. And let's see, how do these look? So side view, we need to move the pupils back. So GY. Let's push 3 so we can see a side view. Not bad, well, kind of pops out. Let's see if we can move all of this back. Okay, so for now, I'm going to click the pupils and the iris and slide them over along the x-axis just a little bit, because they shouldn't be directly in the middle. Okay. That's good for now. Okay, let's do the mouth. Okay, in order to get out of sculpting, I'm going to make a mouth and kind of add it to his body. So let's see, we're going to add let's go ahead and add a cube. Scale the cube down so the width is about the width of what the mouth is going to be. Okay, side view, we're going to make it, scale it along the Z. And then we can scale it along the Y as well because we don't need it that long. So let it stick out of the mouth like this, move it down. Okay, you're kind of like, what are we doing, right? So let's click this. We're going to add the subdivision surface modifier. And I'll show you. Click the levels of viewport up to 3. Let's just, I don't know, that's my preferred. Usually I kick it up to 3. Okay. Let's see. We're going to scale it along the Z like this here. And scale it along the X to make it wider because, I'll show you why. Okay. Now his mouth, it's not super defined. He's got like the top lip, right? So we're going to take this. I'm going to come to the side view and I'm going to rotate along the X axis like this. And then move it back. Okay, it's a little closer to the nose, right? So I'm going to move it up. And let's take a look. Okay, so a little wider. So scale along the X axis like that there. Okay, go back into edit mode. I'm going to go into X-ray mode and click this. Let's see this edge here at the top. You'll see like that. I'm going to get out of X mode just so I can see better. Okay, I'm going to move that up. So moving it up along the Z axis like this here. Click out. Yeah. You see what we're going for though? So here's the top lip. There's going to be teeth underneath. So this way we can click the mouth, click the body, and then we'll join it here in a little bit. Let's see, it should be more curved for his smile. So let's go into edit mode, add some loop cuts. I'm going to add 2. And then we're going to scale them along the, scale along the X-axis a little, well, yeah, a little closer like this here. Trying to think. I mean, you can always mess with it and come back. I'm going to push this edge here, this one, and then turn on proportional editing. Let's see. I'm going to mess with the wheel of my mouse to get this. Yeah. G up. Actually, yeah. So let's do that again. G up. And see, proportional editing, see, I can move, I can change. See, if I just wanted to affect mostly the areas that I clicked, or if I move this out, it'll affect more of the center and edges around where I clicked, if that makes sense. So just play with it to where you get it where you want. And I'm going to click. You'll see these top areas. I'm going to move these back just a little bit. Oop. I'm going to turn off proportional editing. So GY. And up. Honestly, I'm just messing with it to see what looks good. Okay. The mouth shouldn't be poking out as much here at the corners. So I'm going to take that and this corner and move them back. GY. Like that. You know what? That doesn't look bad. Move it up a little bit. Okay, we can come back. I'm going to leave that there for now. Go ahead and add teeth. So, Shift A to add a cube. Scale it down. Let's go ahead and bring it out to protrude from the body. Move down. Did it too far. Okay. Okay, so when his smile, when his face is like this, he has 2 teeth. Front. Okay, scale them for length. Okay, we'll try there. Actually, no, sticking out further than the lip. It shouldn't be. There. Then we'll do a mirror modifier. Click the body. How's that look? Just be a little closer, maybe a little longer. So scale along the Z, and then I'm moving along the X-axis like that. Okay, I'm gonna make these come out a little bit lip. Go ahead and click the teeth as well. Okay, GY, like that. So maybe I didn't need to move the mouth. Right, and then he's got that chin. You know what? Let's add those little dots on the side of the corners of his mouth. So, you know what? It'd be quicker to do a sphere. So we're gonna do that, scale down. We'll try it, right? Move along the X-axis. Go ahead and put one here. Move it to the front so it's sticking out. Okay. So let's scale along the X-axis to give it an oval shape. Yeah, this was easier. Okay. And then let's scale along the Y to make it a little flatter. Okay, and then we're gonna rotate along the Y-axis like this. Bring it up. How about that? Okay, so we're gonna mirror across because we need it on the other side of his mouth. So mirror modifier, mirror object, click body, and there we have it. Okay, that'll work for now. Let's go ahead and do his chin. Make sure everything's nothing sticking out too much. Okay. So chin, let's go ahead and thinking. We're gonna do kind of like the mouth. We're gonna make a shape to kind of protrude out here underneath the teeth to act it as those little loops for his chin. Well, I'm guessing the chin. So we're gonna add a cube. Scale it down. Bring it out. Bring it down. Bring it over. Go ahead and scale it along the Y because we don't need it that wide. We don't need it that, horizontally that wide. Along the Y-axis. Let's go ahead and add a subdivision surface modifier. That. Yes, we're doing 3. And let's see. Let's scale along the Z-axis like so. Move it out a little more. Okay, we'll go ahead and mirror across. Let me see if we mirror right next to it. Okay, move it closer. Let's see, the chin is as wide. No, it's wider than the teeth. So if you're looking at your reference picture, we have that. Okay, now let's rotate along the X, see how that looks. Okay, and then move it back. Scoot it over. Yeah, it needs to be wider. There we go. It looks weird, but once we join it to his main body, so we'll click. Actually, we'd have to go ahead and apply these. So I'm going to go hover over the mirror or hover over the subdivision surface modifier, Control A. And also you could go to this arrow, click, and then click over apply. Okay. All right, so we have these. Would be his chin. Click that. And you know what, since we're happy with the body, the curves, look, the little dips on the sides and the top, we can go ahead and apply this modifier as well. So Control A, because we need to apply all the modifiers in order to join two or more objects, or else it messes up. So click the chin, then Shift, hold, and then click the body. So there's two selected, and then Control J to join. See, it gets rid of this curve here on the top, and it looks more like one. And if we weren't happy with that, like if it were sticking out a little much, we could come back. You could just undo. And then the one again. So I'm going to move it back just a little bit. Let's see, do I like that? Let's try this again. Scale along the Y, move it over. Subdivision surface, 3, and actually maybe 2 is where it's at on this one. Edit mode. Actually, let's go ahead and scale Z on the Z axis. Scale on X to make it a little wider. X-ray mode. I'm going to click this back and see if I can move it. Okay. Make it a little, there you go, flatter. And I'm just playing with it at this point. Scale along the X. Okay, let's go ahead and mirror it across so we can see what the two look like for the chin. Okay, so we know we already need to make these closer. Bring it down because it's not that close to the teeth. You know what, there's more space underneath the chin. So I can already tell his body is not going to be long enough. His body should be longer. That's cool. We can go back. Not a problem. Let's see, go ahead and put that on 3. Move the chin back. Let me just tell there's something about it you don't like. Okay. I'm going to push 1, or you can go up here so you can click the vertices. I'm going to click this vertex here at the corner, and then going to move it along the x-axis to make it, yeah. So, okay. So that way the chin kind of goes into a V shape here at the edge. It's not just straight, goes back along the y-axis. So see in X-ray mode. So you move it corner like that in a V. Yeah, I like that better. Go out of tab mode or go out of edit mode. So do we make these closer? Let's see, click the edge. Okay, I already know I'm stressing over this. Let's move on. So move out a little bit. Yep. Okay, we're gonna apply the modifier. So Control A, hover over, Control A. Okay. Yeah, so click the chin, click the face or body. Actually, you know, before we join these two, since we already know we need to make the body longer, because I guess we're going to call this the face, his sponge part, so his face should be longer vertically. So let's go ahead and do that before we add the chin, right? So scale Z. And then we're going to move, let's go ahead and move this down. You know what? It looks a little. Move the rest of the body down. See how that looks? Okay, now it looks too long. There's too much space above the eye, in between the eye and the top of his head, and then maybe a little too much space here underneath the chin. So let's scale it back. You know what? I'm good with that. Well, let's not overdo it, right? So let's move the pants and shirt, everything else below a little higher. All right, that'll do it. The little cheeks are sticking out a little bit, some of them back. How's that? See, the circles are not right along the edge, so have a little space according to pictures. Placement of the nose, a little bit of space here above the lip. Maybe the lip's a little low. Yeah, maybe that's it. Let's move these up a little. All right, so let's apply this modifier. Come over here, hover over and Control A to apply. Let's see, do we have everything where we want it? Gonna move, I don't know, we're calling these dimples. These little ovals here at the edge of his smile. Move these over just a little bit. Looks like they should be closer to the eyeball, but you know what? I'm gonna leave these. Okay, so we're gonna add this mouth, this curve of the mouth and the chin to his face. So select, then select the face, Control J to join. And now they looked more joined into the face. You can hardly see the lines here where they've joined. The teeth, made them a little bit bigger, so scaled out a little bit. Control A to apply the mirror. I think I'm going to leave them. Scale along the Y. So it doesn't really matter. You can leave them. Okay, but we don't want them sticking out further than this top lip of the mouth. So I'm going to scoot these back just like that. Let's do the little dots of the eyes. So we're going to, let's see, select the pupils, Shift D to duplicate, and then scale them down. Move up, and then move over. So I'm going to take the mirror off for now. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to separate the mirror because we need the dot here, and then we need this dot here. Because otherwise, look, you get this cross-eyed effect, and that's not how SpongeBob looks. So let's take that off. Select, click X over here to remove the mirror. So now we just have this one, right? And it needs to stick out. So move along the Y axis. That. We'll adjust it later. Okay, but yeah, right there. And that's about the right size. So we'll take that one and duplicate. Well, we're just going to duplicate this one instead of mirroring it. So Shift Z, move along the X axis about here. Look about the same. Yeah. And then there's another little white dot right here on this eyeball. So select. Yeah, I guess we can select both of these. Shift D, move it down, move it over, and then scale. You know what? We're going to do one. Actually, yeah, go ahead and scale. Because these are going to be smaller than these, right? Okay. Let's move one at a time. Up, over, and then do the same here to this eye. Over, up. Try to get it as identical as possible. It's pretty close. Move these both down a little bit. Okay, and now I need some eyelashes, which is probably the easiest thing. So Shift A, cube, scale. Okay, scale along the Z. They should be a little bit longer. And start moving. So up, move it out. Scale along the Y. Okay, let's start putting them where they should go. How about that? Okay, so right above the eyeballs. Let's see, we'll do the middle one first. Ooh, let's move it back. It shouldn't look like it's, let's see, like sticking into the eyeball. So we need to adjust this here. Up. No, it's too long, right? So we're going to scale along the z-axis. Shorter. Bring it down. You know what? Now the eyes look too close to the top. Which is fine. We'll just move them down. I'm going to go ahead and put these eyelashes where they should go. So, here's one. Let's go ahead and mirror across so it looks a little easier. Mirror. Okay, Shift D. And then move along the edge, move down. Make them a little longer. Now let's rotate along the y-axis because these should be curved like so. Now see, it looks like it's coming out of the eyeball, so let's move this up. Rotate it a little more. You know what? I shouldn't have scaled it along the X, along the Z. Now we need another one here. Shift D, move along the X. Now we're going to rotate these the other direction. Just a little bit. Move down. Closer to this one in the middle. Move up just a little bit. Let's see, how's that? Not bad. You can tell the eyelashes are off. See the ones here on the edge? They just stick closer here to the middle, right? They should be a little further this way. So I'm going to click and then move along the X. Yeah, let's just play with these to get them right. Okay, space-wise, I don't know, that looks decent. But like we said, these are too close to the top of the head. So now let's get rid of this chin over here. Looks like the teeth should be a little closer to the chin, so I'm going to make these longer since we can't move the chin and we can't move the mouth. So, and the eyes could be closer to this mouth. So yeah, I'm going to move these eyes and the lashes down. Click everything, nose. Okay, click the head so we unselect that. Okay, G, move Z. There we go. Down a little closer. I think that's it. That'll do. Okay, for moving on to the shirt and pants, I noticed a couple of things here with the eyes. Eyeballs, they could be a little closer. So I'm going to do that. You could also move the inside elements, the little eye dots, pupils, irises. So select those over a little bit. See, a couple of things are mirrored, so you're going to have to move, let's see, these two separately. Yeah, looks about right. Okay, the nose should tilt up a little bit, so you can come along to the side view here, pushing 3 on the numpad. Rotate along the X. Let's see. A little better. Okay, the sides of the mouth, these circle oval things. I'm going to tilt them a little more, so rotate along the Y. Yep, along that. And then also, I'm going to rotate along Z, double click Z, and then, let's see. Yeah. And that feels right to me. If yours looks like this or it looks a little different, do it to where you like it, adjust it. Okay, what else? Oh, the corners of his body, I'm going to bring these, let's see. You know what, I can't because I've already applied the subdivision surface modifier. So we're going to leave it. Well, let's see. Yeah, I don't have a line that goes across. Yep, so we'll have to leave it. But if I did have the subdivision surface modifier on, I'd take these side edge corners that are going, let's see, horizontal along the y-axis, and I'd scale these in a little bit. But we're not going to do that because we can't. Okay, let's see. All right. Oop, eyelashes look a little off now, so because we moved the eyeballs. So let's get these back right. There you go. Rotate these on top just a little bit. Move it down. I'm doing that way too much. Okay, I'm gonna leave the eyelashes alone. Let's see. All right, let's add the elements of the shirt. Well, actually, hold on. Let's look at the eye. See these little eye dots? They are protruding too far out. So, well, top and bottom. Yeah. So I'm going to click all 4 of those eye dots. Move them back. No, let's do them separately. Let's do the tops. These bigger eye dots. I can already tell we're going to have to rotate along the Z. Okay, scoot these back to where they barely look like they're touching. Okay, and then we're going to click and we're going to rotate along the Z axis. Well, Control undo. Maybe. Scoot this back again. Yeah, because see, they go kind of into the, that's why we're going to rotate, so that we can rotate them off of the pupil here. All right, should we do one at a time? Yeah, let's do one at a time because they're not mirrored. So, Control, oh, we need to see a little closer. Okay, rotate Z, and that'll get it off. There we go. So now it's not so much dipping into, it's not intersecting into this pupil. So when you do the same over here, rotate along the Z. We don't want to do too much. Maybe that's sticking too far down. There. Okay, rotate. again. How's that? Okay, it looks better, and it is sticking barely, but a little bit, to the eye. Honestly, close enough. But these small dots are not. So we're going to go to the side view, move them back. Ooh, see, they're intersecting with the pupil as well. So we're going to have to, and these are not mirrored as well. So we're going to click. Let's see. Do these at the same time. So rotate along the, oh, no, can't do them at the same time. Rotate along the z-axis. Well, actually, no. We should rotate along the x so it's, yeah. And then move out a little bit. No, I'm going to do it like that. So play around with it, y'all. So I move them from the more in between the pupil and the iris. Actually, they're more on the above the iris now, just because it makes sense. Okay. Actually, we could rotate these along the x as well, because see, they're sticking out here on the top. Rotate. Rotate on the x-axis. Let's look. It's a little better. If you want, you can move them back along the y-axis. Okay. You know what? I'm happy with that. Let's move on to his shirt and pants. All right. He's got that little red tie, and on the shirt, he has like the little collar. Collars here on either side sticking out. So we're going to do the, I might as well do the tie first. So Shift A, let's add the, we can make it easy. Add a UV sphere. Take it, scale it down. GY to move it to the front. I'm going to scale it along the y-axis because we don't need a perfect circle. Let's see. And tie. Look, the little bow tie, not bow tie, but the little round part at the top of the tie should not be round. So just change it into more oval shape. Scale along the z-axis. There we go, make it more oval. And that ought to do. Not overdo it. Okay, Shift A, add a cube. This will be the longer part of the extended part of the tie. So scale down, move down, and again move out. Okay, scale along the Y. Okay, I'm gonna scale it along the Z-axis because it should be longer. And of course, we're gonna do the modifier, subdivision surface. Let's bump this up to 3 for now. Okay, the tie has a sort of, if you look at a reference of SpongeBob, the tie has a, let's see, kind of like a diamond shape. So we're going to, now we have it in this oval shape. vertically. So let's go into edit mode. And I'm just going to use one loop cut. So Control R, horizontally though. Put it here in the middle for now. But looking at it from the front view, I'm going to move this loop cut down. And then, let's see, to get that diamond shape, let's go ahead and put it in X-ray mode, Alt-Z. So click the edges here at the bottom. Put it in X-ray mode so you can see through his other parts of the body there. And then we're going to scale. So front mode, push 1 on the numpad. I'm going to scale this along the X-axis. Okay, shouldn't be too pointy. Let's see. Right there seems good. And then the top of the tie, do it just a little bit as well. Give it a more pointed, but not nearly as pointed here as the bottom. So X-ray mode, click. Get out of X-ray mode. Scale along the X-axis. Oop. I'm gonna do just barely right there. Okay, so click there, Shift select, click this other side, and then scale along the X-axis and scale it out this time. Okay, so I'm gonna play with doing this back and forth until it looks just right. Let's see, maybe if I grab, so you can push 3 on the top of your keyboard, or come up here and push the face in edit mode. So you can click the faces here on this side, and then we'll click that one. See if we scale X. No. Okay. So Control Z, undo. Let me go back to 2 so I can click the edges. Ooh, wrong edge. Scale. Take this up. You know what? Let's make these a little closer. Scale it in along the Z. Okay, let's click all the edges here on the bottom. X-ray mode. And let's bring it down. See if we can make it more pointed. A little bit. Okay. So maybe it just wasn't long enough. Click the edges here again. Scale out. And so I scaled it along the Z-axis to make it a little shorter. It should be, well, no, it actually does hang below the pants. So let's see. Maybe about halfway, almost halfway in between the pants. Scale, bring it down. Okay, so when I'm selecting these edges, I'm going to see if I can push these sides in. So click both sides of those. Let's get out of X-ray mode and then scale along the X. No, that doesn't help. So weird. Okay. You know what? Maybe I have it too. There we go. So we're gonna do it like that and then scale like this. Okay, so after scaling and playing with it a little bit, scale it along the X, make it a little wider. You know what, that'll work. So this shirt is probably a little too tall still. I'm gonna click both, well, click scale along the Z. So bring this up. So I'm gonna click the pants and everything below it as well. Move it up. There we go. I'm gonna stop messing with it. We're gonna leave it there. Now let's add the collar of the shirt, or both sides, but we're gonna mirror it across. So Shift A, cube, scale down, bring it down, so move up, move over, select G, X, okay, bring it to the front. Now, if you'll tell from the color, we're just gonna rotate. We're gonna rotate this cube. First, I'm gonna scale it along the Y, because we don't need it to be exactly square. Okay, moving it up. All right, let's rotate. So rotate along the Y axis. Okay, let's get it in the right spot. You move this, yeah, you move it back a little bit. Okay, it should be a little closer to this tie, so move over. Let's see, the corner shouldn't be exactly, let's scale. Scoot over. You know what, that looks fun. Let's take this collar, we're gonna mirror it across. So mirror modifier, mirror object cube, there we go. That'll do. I'm gonna go ahead and apply, so hover above the modifier, Control A. All right, that looks okay for the tie and the collar. Now we need to add the belt loops of the pants. So let's see, we have 4 like rectangles for the belt here along the front, and then 1 on either side. Okay. Simple enough. Shift A, add cube. Scale down. Position. Okay, protrude to the front. Ooh, nope. Let's see, and then just look at your reference. See, scale along the X. Scoot it over. Okay, it's gonna intermesh here with the tie. Should be a little bit higher along the pants. So not directly in the middle. So a little higher to the top of the pants. And selections lengthwise. I think that's okay for now. We're going to mirror it across here. Let's add, let's see. So let's scoot this back along the y-axis so it doesn't poke out from the tie. Okay, Shift D to duplicate. Move over. Right about there seems okay. All right. Let's mirror this one first. So with that one selected, we'll go over to our modifiers, add a mirror modifier, mirror object. That'll do. You know, I'm going to go ahead and apply it. So Control A, and then we're going to do the same thing for this belt loop, belt notch, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Control A to apply, and then we need the one on the side. So we're going to click, you can click any of these here. Actually, I'm going to click this here on the outer edge. Shift D to duplicate, scoot it over. Since we're at applied it, yeah, they don't move the same. So let's go into, with these selected, go into edit mode. Let's see, Alt Z for X-ray mode. Might be Command Z on a Mac, but on a, let's see. Now, since we have it in X-ray mode, we can select and it'll select even the back components, even though you can't see it. So with one of these squares selected in edit mode, then we're gonna push P on the keyboard to bring up this. We're gonna separate it from this other object. Okay, so selection. Okay, tab to get out of edit mode, Alt Z. And now, there we go. We can select it and it moves separately. It's no longer connected to this other, let's see, this other rectangle. So X to delete. Now we just have this one. Let's rotate it along the Z axis, 90 degrees, RZ 90. And put it here on the side of the pants. So move it back. Go, and then move it along the Y. Oops, stick it a little further. There we go. Let's see. Sticks out a little too far. So move it along the X, scoot it back. And there we go. You know, I think I'm going to make it a little wider. So here we go. All right, now we can mirror this one across to this other side. And a modifier, mirror object, as we've been doing. There you go. We can go ahead and apply. So Control A, and there we go. Okay. Okay, now let's just add these socks and let's see, the little, what are we gonna call them? The little holes in his face where he has the sponge to make him look like a sponge. All right, so you know what, the easiest way, let's duplicate these legs. Shift D, scale them down. Actually, you know what, undo that. We're gonna scale along the Z. Ooh. Okay, so Shift D, and then scale along the Z axis. There we go. Move them down. See, lengthwise. Compared to the legs, that looks okay. And then we're going to scale out to make them wider than the legs. There we go. A little more. Now scale along the Z to make them shorter. His legs look a little long to me. move them. There we go. I made the arms longer. Isn't that funny? Okay. So there we have the socks. We're going to... Yeah, let's go ahead and apply the legs, the mirror modifier, Control A. Now for the socks, we're going to apply... Well, no, hold on. Yeah, we can go ahead and apply, so Control A, the mirror. Now let's leave the mirror on. Let's go into tab mode. All right, let's select, because he has those two stripes in between on his socks, the blue and the red. So let's select X-ray mode so we can select through to the other side. There we go. So there, that would be a stripe, and let's add, there's another stripe. Okay, with those selected, we're gonna push P and selection to separate these, tab to edit out, Alt Z to get off X-ray mode. All right, let's see. Yep, we can select the stripes. But since we're gonna add different colors, I'm gonna separate these stripes as well. So I'm gonna go back into tab mode and Alt Z, X-ray mode, select the top, P to separate. Okay, that way we can color this the blue and this one red, since they're already separated. And there we have the socks. All right, let's put the sponge holes in SpongeBob's body. So let's save. Okay, I'm gonna use the Boolean modifier to do this actually. All right, so let's go Shift A. Let's add a UV sphere, scale it down, bring it out. Okay, the sphere, you can bring it all the way out. We are going to size it or scale it down so it's a little not as round. So scale along the X. There we go. Just a little bit. And also, well, yeah, I don't need to scale it along the Y. We could, yeah, it's not necessary. All right, and then add the holes where, according to whatever picture reference you have, or you can put them where I put them. So here we go. Let's click the body. Let's go add a modifier, Boolean. Actually, before we do that, let's put this where we want it. Let's get this over. I'm gonna scale it down just a little. And I'm gonna rotate along the Y. So it's kind of curved. Bring it back. Yes, I think I will scale it. There we go. All right. Let's do our first little spot there. All right, so with this body selected, let's go over to the Boolean modifier. We're gonna go difference. And with this object here, we're gonna click the eyedropper and select the little sphere we added. Ooh. So on the solver option, if you'll click the fast tab, that'll do. Go ahead and then push Control A to apply. Now you don't see it yet. We need to move this sphere. So GY, and there we have it. You have us first. Was that a little too deep? We didn't want it that deep, did we? Okay. So actually, let's move that over so you can see. Okay, there's the first sphere or crater hole in his body. And if we push, select his head face and go to edit mode, you'll see it's got its own its edges in there, and we can actually separate it to make the color different from the outside of his sponge. But I'll show you that here in a minute. All right, let's go ahead and add the other little holes. Go Control A. Move this little guy over. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna add two over on this side. Rotate along the y-axis so it's not exactly the same as the other two sponge holes. Okay, no need to be picky about it. That's me, I guess. Okay, make sure it's in there. Click his face, Boolean modifier. Remember the fast tab, eyedropper, click the sphere. And then you have to apply. See, move the sphere, scale it down. Yeah, let's make above the other spot. Okay, as soon as I got it where I want it, do it again. Fast, eyedropper. Oop. Go. Remember to apply. Click. And move it. All right, we're getting there. Let's rotate it again along the y-axis. So, okay, scale it up a little bit. Change the size. You know what? Let's go up a little. I'm just going to do one. Yeah, I'm going to do one hole right here. There's not much room right here by the eyelash. Okay, click the head, Boolean, fast, eyedropper, sphere, and apply. Move, rotate. Okay, let's get it down really small. Make sure it's still sticking out. Yep. Okay, Boolean, fast, eyedropper, sphere, apply. Move, scale. I'm gonna rotate it a little bit. Okay. Boolean, fast, eyedropper, click. Control A, move it over, and let's see, go into edit mode. All right, that does it for the front. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for the back. So just like that, y'all, I'm gonna skip this part because it gets a little repetitive. But yeah, you're gonna put a couple of holes in the back and then here on the side. Okay, so before we start shading, I want to separate these sponge holes from his body. So let's click on the body or the main sponge part of him, go into edit mode. Okay, and some of these holes, the craters that we made with the Boolean modifier, are already selected. Some are not. You might have, if you've been following along, you might have yours already selected, all of them. And if you do, just hold on. If you don't, if you're like mine, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave those selected, right? So that's all the front ones and the back ones. You know what? I'm going to go ahead, actually, do this with me. I'm going to go ahead and press P, and then we're going to separate by the first one, selection. Okay, we are going to tab to get out of edit mode and get back into object mode. So now, these ones that we separated, the front and back, we push G and then move along the X axis, they separate. Okay. Could have used without these edges right here. But honestly, not a big deal. So we'll Control Z to move him back. And then you can click off of him. All right, so let's move these side sponge holes that weren't connected. So I'm gonna click back on the sponge body. I'm going to tab to edit mode. All right. So this spot here. So what we're gonna have to do, I'm gonna hold Shift, do a box select. Ooh, no, not that big. Box select around, try to get as close as I can, around the holes, right? And each time you select like that, hold the Shift button. Because if you don't, if you just try to select again, it takes off the selection of everything you had previously selected. So Control Z. Now with that being done, I'm gonna zoom in. Now if you hold down Control and do a box over selected, it'll unselect. But if you just hold on Control and then click a box, it's not gonna do anything. So Control, box select, and there we go. So we found our rhythm, and actually this takes longer than you want it to, of course, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So unclicked, I'm gonna Shift, click that spot. Control. All right, so y'all, I'm gonna keep doing this. By the time I get these done, then we'll go do the other side. All right, got what I want selected. P, separate by selection, and there we go. See if that works. G, move along the y-axis, and yes, they're separated nicely. Control Z to move back. Okay. Actually, I could go ahead and group those together. So I went ahead and selected all of these, and then Control J to join. I could actually, so we have the front and the back selected. I'm gonna go ahead and select the sides that we just unselected from the sponge body. Control J. So all those are, show y'all, see? All of them connected. Control Z, move those back. Still have to do this side. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing we did on this other side. Here we go. Okay. Oh, as well, look, if you push 3 on your numpad, you'll get this side, you'll get this specific side, but if you then click 9 or press 9 on the numpad, it'll switch over to the opposite end. So just like if we push 1 and have the front view, you push 9 on the numpad, you get the back view. For those that needed that. Okay, control, box select. Yay, okay, that's done. Yeah, that's good. P, separate by selection, and there we go. Tab to get out of edit mode, and let's just test that. So click on these sides. Okay, we're gonna move along the y-axis, move them out of the way, and yes, there are our holes. Control Z to move back. Okay, let's connect these holes we just separated to the ones. So select those, shift select these other holes, Control J to join. Okay, so now we have all the holes joined together. Control Z, that was just to show you. All right. And now the best part, we get to shade and color SpongeBob. All right, the last part of our SpongeBob character is shading. Let's add some color. So I'm going to select all the objects of our SpongeBob character, right click, and shade smooth. Okay, we unclick, take a look. There's some things that don't look right, shaded smooth. So, like the eyelashes, okay, I would shift and select these eyelashes. Also the teeth. And, okay, the parts of the belt. Anything else? That's about it. Let's right click and shade flat. So those objects are gonna go back to shaded flat. They should not be so smooth because it doesn't look right, in my opinion. All right, everything is smooth that we want smooth. So let's go ahead and add some color. Let's do the big part first. Let's do SpongeBob's face, main body. Okay, so come over here to the material properties tab. Okay, so everything right now is this material. Nothing special. We are going to exit out of that, make a new one. Click and name. So I just name it body color. Okay. Come down. If you want to see the color in the viewport here, come to under viewport display, under color, and click what you want. Yeah, that looks pretty well. It's kind of bright. Not too orangey, but not green. You know what? I like that. Okay. So this color is going to apply to arms, hands, legs, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So click this tab over here. We've already made this color, body color. Palms of the hand. Go through and click like this. Okay. Legs. You know, now I don't like that yellow. I'm going to change it later. Okay. Next, yeah, we're gonna do those holes last because that's gonna make it look really cool. You know, and I forgot to take shading off of the collar, so shade flat. There we go. That's my bad. Okay, let's do, so black for, let's see, the pupils and his shoes, and then the belt. So you know, we're just gonna put, I mean, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna say black. I'm gonna misspelling, black color. Go down to, we'll go. And you know what? The eyes are gonna, the pupils and the shoes are gonna be shiny, but also the belt buckle is not. So I'm going to name, let's see, black. How about non-shiny? Or no. Black, shiny, and then go down here. Under roughness, okay, so the more you slide it here to the right, the higher the number, which the highest it'll go to is 1, will be, let's see, the opposite of shiny. Let's see, it's not gonna glow at all. And you can tell, zoom in, zoom out. And then if you take it the other way, well, the opposite. See that? Light reflects, you get a shiny, kind of glassy look. So they are the eyes, the pupils. So I'm gonna go ahead and try, no, not enough. Let's try 0.1. Okay, I like that for now. Let's go ahead and do the same for the shoes. So black, shiny, shiny, and then the bottom. Okay, save. And let's do a black non-shiny. So click belt buckle, add new. Okay, black, non-shiny. Okay, scroll down to the bottom, viewport display color. Go black, and then go a little further, and then lose all the roughness. Same for these other sides. Black, non-shiny, non-shiny. Okay, we're getting there. Let's see, what's gonna be white? So the eyeballs, the eye dots, these are gonna be a shiny, reflective color. The socks are gonna be white but not shiny. Shirt sleeves, and the shirt not going to be. So let's just put what it is. Let's add a color. So we'll say eyeballs dash eye dots. Okay, scroll down, color. Started pretty much white. I'm gonna make it a little higher. And the roughness, like I said, shiny, bring it over to the left. So that looks a little too much. Well, actually, maybe not. It depends on what you like. I'm gonna try it at 0.1. You want? No. Let me just put it on 0 for now. Okay, click these dots. Add the same eyeballs, eye dot. Let's see. Eyeballs, eye dot. And then the little dots, don't forget those. Okay, and then we need the shirt, the sleeves, collar, and most of the socks. Let's go ahead and click some part of this. Add new. Let's see. Socks dash sleeves dash shirts. So we don't need the sleeves. You can just say shirt dash color. We get it. Okay, go down here. White, not shiny. So let's try it out. Let's bring this about point, let's say 8. Okay. Looks all right for the socks. What else? The shirt. Here. Sock shirt. Okay, sleeves. Can't forget those. Oh, teeth. Let's see. Yeah, teeth don't need to be shiny. So let's go ahead and. Oh. Yeah, see, they look kind of weird shiny. Let's do the other white with the socks and the shirt. Okay, we're forgetting something. Okay, so those are all the objects that need to be white. Forgot the eyelashes, so let's do the eyelashes with non-shiny. Black, there we go. Good. Okay. Oh, the iris, the color part of the eye. So we're gonna add a new color, his eyes. SpongeBob has beautiful blue eyes, so let's go ahead and add those. I'm gonna say iris color. Okay, put this on. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it right there. Okay, I'm gonna make this shiny. As it should be. Oh yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take down the white of this. Make it less shiny. Let's do the 0.1. Yeah. Okay. Oh, those little cheeks. Not the cheeks, a little, well, actually, I guess those would be kind of cheek dots. Let's add those. New. And we're going to say cheeks. Cheeks color. Go down, and this would be a light orange, kind of a pale orange. Actually, that looks pretty good. Let's make sure the roughness, these are not shiny, but it is a smile. Let's see, 0.3. Actually, it looks okay. Let's leave it there for now. All right, what else? His tie is a red, very bright red. Tie color. Kind of like a cherry red. Actually, hold on. I think that's pretty good. Well, is that kind of pinkish? You know what? I'm not gonna fuss. That's good. Tie color. Okay, there is our red tie. Now the brown pants. Actually, let's make this stripe. This bottom stripe is red. I think the same red is fine. Tie color. If you want, you can change the name. So double click, add it. Tie color. Let's see, sock, stripe, color. Go. The other, since we're down here, this one's blue. You know, the roughness of that is fine, 0.4. Maybe we'll make it 0.5. Doesn't matter, it's a preference thing. Second stripe is a blue, but we're not going to make it shiny blue. And it's going to be a different blue. So let's see. Sock, stripe, blue. And maybe a little lighter. It's fine. Okay, we are almost there. And then pants, we need that brown. Okay, so actually shorts. So brown would be around here in the orange. Okay, make this a little darker. Because it's not a dark, it's kind of a light. There we go. And then, hold on, is the roughness where we like it? I'm going to do 0.7. Click the top portion of the shorts. And shorts color. Okay. Looking good. Anything else besides the sponge holes? Oop, almost forgot the nose. So this is going to go with the body color. There we are. Yeah. Our last thing is the holes. And if you look at your reference, the reference I'm looking at, the color of the sponge holes are a little darker, maybe a greenish tinge here. Let's see. Click one, and we're going to, so this is the original color. We're going to add sponge holes. Label it how you like. Scroll down. And actually, you can go ahead and take this eyedropper, take from the yellow body. Actually, look, it goes ahead and it comes out darker. Unless you were to raise this up and lighten it. But you know what? We do. We want it darker than his body. And that is it. All right, if you have gotten this far, we have just completed SpongeBob. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more tutorials like this. And thanks for watching.